In summary, incorporating literacy into all aspects of our students' education is very important. And I think that through doing this, we might discover that children actually enjoy reading books, which is a wonderful thing to foster. Students may then choose reading as a free time activity. They also, some other positive outcomes are that they have an awareness that symbols represent meaning, that they understand that stories come from print, and have an awareness of the structure of a story. It has a beginning and a middle and an end. Students may also learn to differentiate between book language versus conversational language, which we use so much when we communicate, but then when you read a book, it's a much different type of language, and learning that they can gain meaning from both of those. It also helps develop vocabulary and book handling skills, as we've mentioned. So there's many positive outcomes. You also want to think about assessing not only reading books, but you want to assess what your students are learning. So by using meaningful activities, I think is very important to assess what your students are learning from their book reading time. I always think that finding ways to increase students' independence, whether it's using assistive technology or just by the design of the activity, are very important. And you also want to think about your teaching time versus your assessment time. So there are times where you may just want to sit and read a book, and that's fine. But then there are times where you might want to assess what the student has learned or comprehended during that reading time. So you need to think about differentiating those two times and not, overlapping. And then sometimes you may want to just purposely change things and observe. So inverting letters or inverting text, or moving pictures around, or different things, especially when you're making your own books, and seeing what your students are comprehending. And it's a great way to to assess their learning. And finally, this is my favorite quote, is every child is a potential reader. I think we need to compare this to our original definition, which looked at a student having the ability to read or write. And I think if we look at our students and all of the things we can do with them, that really every child has the potential to read and write.